In EU Inside. Mr. Commissioner, Croatia has some serious economic problems. And given the latest episode of the Eurozone crisis with Cyprus, do you believe that more focus should be put in the accession process on economy and fiscal problems? Thank you.
You're absolutely right. The last period, we have focused on the rule of law. The last period, we have focused on the accession negotiations actually contributing to the transformation process in our candidate countries. I was talking about the difficulties, the more demanding aspects of the accession negotiations, and Montenegro is going to face probably even more demanding process. It's not only opening and closing benchmark, but also interim benchmark in the two most important chapters for transformation related with the fundamental freedoms, judiciary, justice, freedom, and security. But you're absolutely right that we want the new member states joining the European Union not only delivering on the rule of law and independence of the judiciary, fundamental freedoms, but we want also the new member states to reach the higher level of competitiveness, to be the contribution to the European Union, to strengthen the European Union. I mean, our goal is not only sort of to extend the membership, our role is also to strengthen and deepen the integration of the European Union. So the year 2013, I very much hope and expect will be a year when we will drag the candidate and aspirant countries even more in the new economic governance which is emerging by the European Union. I'm keen that we negotiate with the candidate countries the conditions for joining the old European Union. I'm keen that the accession negotiation and our contacts with the candidate and aspirant countries are focused also on the European Union as we transforming it right now. I have appreciated during the meeting with the government that the Croatia has voluntarily accepted to be a part of the European Union semester, to go actually through the whole cycle of the economic governance as other European Union member states who will receive the recommendation of the Commission. It will prepare its report. It's another good example for other candidate countries and aspirant countries to follow. And based on that experience, we will later this year establish this kind of strong basis, exactly along the lines you made, to strengthen the case of the new members to be more competitive than in the past, and to make all the structural reforms not being in the European Union, but on its way to join the European Union.
Spomenuli ste Hrvatsku i njezine ekonomske poteškoće koje su naše, ali su i tipične. I ovisni smo, kao i sve države u Europi, o svojim trgovinskim partnerima. U ovom trenutku, osim Baltičkih republika koje su imale dramatičan pad 2009. od skoro 20% zbog ekstremne izloženosti skandinavskim bogatijim ekonomijama, nitko drugi nema rast, pa ni Hrvatska. Problem je u Italiji, nije to problem na koji se mi imamo pravo izgovarati, ali Italija je naše najveće tržište. Srećom, tu su Austrija i Njemačka i mi radimo trenutno sve ono da u trenutku kad konjunktura krene budemo spremni biti najkonkurentniji. Cipar nosi dvije poruke. Prva dobra poruka je ta što je kriza riješena jako brzo. Druga poruka je ta što je to, bez obzira što se dogodila nekoliko godina nakon početka krize, atipična kriza. Hrvatske banke imaju iznimno visoku capital adequacy, adekvatnost kapitala, i imaju visoku likvidnost. I nije problem u tome. Problem je u pasivnosti i u inertnosti banaka u Hrvatskoj. Ali mogućnost ciparskog scenarija u Hrvatskoj 4 godine nakon krize ne postoji. I drugi problem u Cipru je što je to, dok je svima odgovaralo, svi su zatvarali oči. Dakle, to je bila klasična ekonomska monokultura i država koja je živjela od provizija i sada će morati, nažalost, platiti cijenu za to. Novca kojem se ne zna porijeklo, koji je uglavnom iz Rusije, s čim i ruske vlasti imaju problema, jer ne vjerujem da je i Medvedjev i Putin da su sretni što milijarde ruskog novca umjesto u Rusiji idu na Cipar, i Europe koja nije postavljala to pitanje dok nije dogorilo do noktiju. To se više neće dogoditi. Dakle, zadovoljava brzina s jedne strane u reakciji i s druge strane činjenica da je to slučaj sui generis. U buduće toga neće biti u Europi.